No.
Well,
Afterwards.
Going off of that, how do you suggest that, because we're trying to also, on the other side of fundraising, we're trying to decrease our costs, and that's by getting higher level volunteers, people who are willing, accountants who are willing to donate time and things like that. So in the same vein, how do you suggest we connect to those professionals that, aren't quite ready to leave their day job, but that want to volunteer some of their time?
So there's a guy named Bill Shore. Everybody know Bill Shore? Bill Shore started an organization called Share Our Strength, which is one of the largest, probably the largest hunger organization in the United States. And Bill came up with this idea years ago that I lived my life by in nonprofit. Bill said that if I walk into a chef and ask them for $10,000, they chase me out of the kitchen with a knife. But if I say to that same chef, I'd like you to cook dinner for 100 people, you pay for all the food, use our kitchen, your staff, and I'll sell those tickets, the chef said yes 100% of the time. So the question was, and this is proven to be true across the board, if I ask somebody in business to do something that is outside of their comfort zone and expertise, you're asking people to do something that will make them very nervous, and they don't want to do, and really all you're asking for is a check. But if you ask people to do what they do to help a nonprofit, nobody says no. They don't say no. The challenge for a nonprofit, exactly what you're talking about, is how do I figure out how to use an accountant? How do I figure out how to use how do I figure out how to use a chef? Right?
How do you find those people that are willing?
There's a ton in this room. Every one of these major firms has a volunteer part of their organization. So every major accounting firm, law firm has a pro bono side. There's somebody there who will hook you up, every one of them. It's considered now part of HR to hook their employees up with volunteer opportunities because they figured out that there's a return on investment for that. It's just like employee matching. There's a return on investment in terms of employee retention and satisfaction and productivity that they figured out, and that's why they do it. Is that it? Oh. Front tables, baby. Got you guys in the back, what?
With 31,000 nonprofits in Los Angeles, we work with people that have intellectual disabilities. So just in this room, there are people that are working with a similar population. And a lot of people are talking about synergy, working with other organizations, but how can you do that where both organizations truly benefit? Because I know that I'm talking to people and I've received calls where people want to partner with Best Buddies, but they essentially want to take all of our resources, they want to take our email list, they want to take our people and kind of siphon it to them, and I'm sitting here wondering, well, how does that benefit us in the end? And I know it's kind of a controversial question to ask because I know we're givers, but how do you partner and create synergies where both people benefit, where both sides benefit?
That's a good question. Next. I think, you have a strong brand. And when you have a strong brand in this world of 31,000, everyone's going to come running to you. When I would receive, and we have an M&A guy in the back, but when I would receive proposals like that, I would do a study with a group of people, university, consultants, and agree with the others that we would do two things. We would do an analysis of whether or not it was good on a business standpoint. So whether the net was a savings to the organizations, a real savings to both organizations, and whether there was a benefit to the clients. Most importantly, whether there was a benefit to the clients. And the deal I would make with all these folks was, if the business people told me, if they both said no, that was easy. And 99% of the time they both said no. If the business people said yes and the program people said no, it was a no. Because we're a mission-based organization. If it's not best for the clients, then no. If the business people said no, but the client benefited, then we would figure out a way to work it out. But as he'll tell you in the back, these are really hard to do. And part of the reason they're really hard to do is that this is one of those businesses, because it's a nonprofit, where everybody's convinced that their yoga studio has a better program for 14-year-old girls than the yoga studio down the block, which has a yoga studio for 14-year-old girls, and which one's more empowering. And it's nonprofit's a very ego-driven business. We all think our program's the best. We all think we're the only ones who are doing it. You know, no problem that our dog rescue is better than that dog rescue is better than that cat rescue. You know, and as long as we keep thinking that, then the organizations will come together. But you have to protect your brand, period. Period. That's the most important thing. It's the most valuable thing you guys have, is that you have an actual brand name in this world. And as I always say in nonprofit, we think we're competing with each other, but in LA we're really competing with Jennifer Aniston. It's true. We're all looking for a little bit of